the North Oakland Transportation Authority for Thursday, May 19th. Lynn, would you call the roll, please?
Sure. Thurber?
Here.
Pearson's excused. Mr. Dunn's excused. Mr. Kreiderman?
Yes, here.
Ms. Sabowski? Here. Ms. Elvis? Mr. Barnett?
Here.
Mr. Young is excused. Ms. Wilson's excused. Ms. Fisher? Here.
Okay, we have a quorum. At this time, everyone is rise and we'll say the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Hey, any adjustments or changes to the agenda or a motion to approve as presented?
Move to accept it. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Move to accept the agenda as presented.
Support. Reiderman, supported by Thurber.
I'd just like to say number 10, new business. I don't know if anybody wants to discuss that today or if we should table it, given the number of members that we have here.
Is there any question that we need to have five electeds to take this action up? I mean, if there is a question, then we probably should table it.
Sure.
Or just,
Oxford Township came up with a lot of questions that needed to get answered, so we probably should have some voting people here to make them decisions.
do you have it, is that okay? Is this
Sure.
precedent to do this
No,
today?
it'll wait.
Okay. So then, I would just like to add something on new business, just a quick report on the Orion Township Proposed Corridor Improvement Authority. Or not proposed, it's an approved corridor improvement authority. Mr. Kreiderman, would you amend your motion to remove item 10A?
Yes.
And then add a new 10A, which would just be the Orion Township CIA?
Yes.
And I'll amend my support.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, we have an agenda. Someone want to move to approve the minutes from
So moved.
April 21st meeting?
Support.
Okay, it's been moved and supported. Are you keeping this too?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Is there any discussion on the minutes? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, that passes. Habowski, is that how you say it? Director's report.
No, I don't have a copy of mine. I don't know if it printed off.
Let me see if it's in the agenda. If it's in the,
Just receive it. It didn't come through. Oh, I don't have it either. Okay, well,
we'll do that next
all
time.
right.
Any public comment? Seeing none, we'll call the public, and we will bring up to our back up here approval of financial activity, approval of the bills.
These are separate. It's a separate sheet here.
Does everybody have one?
The total checks are $26,257.77, and the auto pays and the payroll total up to total checks and auto pays of $78,815.43.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Fisher and Kreiderman. Is there any discussion? All those, is this a roll, do we do roll calls on these?
Money.
Yeah, roll call, please.
Thurber?
Yes.
Kreiderman?
Yes.
Kowalski?
Yes.
Barnett?
Yes,
Fisher?
Yes.
that passes 5-0 again. Next item is receive and file of the financial activity.
So moved.
Support.
Okay, is there any questions or discussion or any comments you want to add? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? 5-0, that passes. Old business, is there any?
No?
No old business. New business. I only have 2 copies of this. You can take them home if you'd like. They're available on our website as well. I'm going to give one to Lynn for sure. But the Orion Township approved the formation of a corridor improvement authority. If you're not familiar with what a corridor improvement authority is, I can give a longer presentation at the next NOTA meeting if the board members would like. it's basically a tax increment financing tool. It's governed by state law. And what it allows us to do is capture incremental increases in the taxes on the Brown Road and Baldwin corridor. If you're familiar with our community, and I'll pass these slides around if you want to look at it. And I'm sorry I didn't bring more copies. I was coming from that dispatch meeting. I only had what I had in my briefcase. The south side, that's our border. That's our township border, Brown Road. And I'm sure everyone's familiar with it because you all shop probably in Auburn Hills at Costco, Meijer, Target, Sam's Club. The north side is our community border. And currently we have a Checkers and a Bank of America and a lot of blight. And a couple gravel mining operations. So we are taking advantage of this great tax capture tool that allows us to capture, and we're looking at a period of 20 years, 50% capture on the increase. So the base year would be 2015, and then any incremental increase in the taxes would be captured 50% by the taxing authorities and 50% by the corridor improvement authority. The reason I'm bringing it to the NOTA board is because we are one of the taxing authorities. I'll name them all for you. It's in that PowerPoint as well. But essentially, by the township board approving the plan on Monday night, we have said on our millages that we are agreeing to the capture. The other entities, so that would be our police, our fire, our general fund, our safety path. The other entities are Oakland County is the largest, and they have actually helped us draft this plan. Their economic development team, Brooks Patterson, the county executive has been a supporter of this from the beginning, as is Mike Gingell, the board commissioner chair. So we anticipate they are going to agree to the 50% capture. And then the Oakland Community College is the other taxing authority that then the county parks and metro parks generally follow the county's lead. So if the county agrees to the capture, those other authorities generally do as well. That leaves the NOTA and our library. So I've made 2 presentations to our library board, and this is the first time I think we've officially talked about it with NOTA. So you guys will get official notice, or we will get official notice. We have 60 days to opt out of the capture. We're hoping that NOTA doesn't, and I'll explain why. The overall capture over 20 years, if NOTA does not opt out, is $238,000 over 20 years. Now, 20 years captures almost $14 million. We only have $8 million of projects, and what we're looking to do is widen Brown Road to 5 lanes and do some streetscape improvements on Baldwin Road next year once that road becomes a 4-lane boulevard with roundabouts. That's what the intent of the Corridor Improvement Authority is. So again, it would be taking some money from NOTA, but it's monies that don't exist. And so the way, kind of in a layman's term, and I'll answer questions if I'm losing you all, to explain this is, for example, a very real example is last night Menards was preliminary approved by the township board, or by the planning commission, and they're going to invest about $12 million in their site, which is a vacant gravel pit, and then they're going to have 2 outlots that are about $1.5 million guessing investment. So there's about $14 to $15 million in investment that's going to happen because of Menards. Outside of the commitment from the township that we are going to widen Brown Road to 5 lanes, they don't come to our community at all. So they've said that. It's been very clear because the infrastructure doesn't support it. If you ever go shopping at Costco on Saturday, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's gridlocked. So that's one of the barriers to future investment on our side of the road, is because we don't have the proper infrastructure. So that being said, we're asking for a 50% capture, but they're going to be investing $12 million. So the baseline, the 2015, that we don't take from NOTA or the library or any of the other authorities, that continues to go. It's just the increase. So we can make an argument that the increased investment is actually, and this tool, it's an economic development tool, these corridor improvement authorities, actually will increase the revenue to NOTA, because outside of that, we can tell, Tom O'Neill, if he were here from Menards, would actually say, if we didn't have, they can't afford $5 million to widen Brown Road because the investment doesn't make sense. And the road commission, it's a county road, it's not even on their radar. I mean, they have $90 million of projects programmed for the next 5 years, and this isn't even on the 10-year plan. So,
Mr. Chair?
Yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but since we only have 5 people here, I have to leave.
no problem.
But if you have to make if you would like to make a motion, I'd like to.
Well, I'm not gonna make the motion, I just wanted to, this is gonna be coming officially from the Corridor Improvement Authority to NODA, that, you know, NODA has to act within 60 days if they choose to opt out of the capture. So, again, I would be, until we had an approved plan, it didn't make a lot of sense to talk about it. The library has invited us to talk about it. We've been working with the county. So if it makes sense to maybe have it on the next agenda for a formal presentation to the NODA board and to maybe let the board members know. I just kind of wanted to explain a little bit, and maybe I did say too much. I'm sorry, Mark, you have a tight time frame.
No. I'm just trying to say if you were going to take some action, I wanted to vote on it.
No, I don't think it's fair to, that, like, with adding it to the agenda, I wouldn't want to do that. But I will, you can take
My
these.
apologies to the NODA board. I'm sorry I have to go. Sorry.
No problem. Well, let's wrap that then real quick, and see, we need one more vote on the monthly rider report. So
So moved.
so we'll skip down to that real quick. So it's moved by Fisher to receive and file the monthly rider report. Is there support?
Second.
Support by Kreiderman. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thanks, Mark.
You're welcome.
All right, so just back real quick on the CIA. It's interesting. You know, I will have our consultants that helped us put this together come make a presentation, a 10-minute presentation at the next meeting, if that would be of interest to the NODA board. I think it would be helpful, probably. And I brought 2 copies, one for you to take back and pour over. If anyone else wants to take one and look at it, what we're doing and why we're doing it. Or if anybody has any questions, yes.
It's 60 days from when? Do we have to
60
decide?
days from when we approved the plan, which was Monday at our board meeting.
Okay.
Yes, so we would need to take action at the next NODA meeting.
Okay.
No, or I guess the next 2, one of the next 2. So June or July.
60.
Well, July might be, it probably needs to be June.
Probably too late, yeah.
Yeah,
Our meeting is.
unless we had a special. So, and then one last thing on the numbers. If you look at the, I think it's, do you have that, can I see that PowerPoint real quick? It's broke down better on this one. Yeah, you can see for NODA on this page, and I'll circle it and everybody can look at it. This is the total capture proposed at 20 years. The only reason we're picking 20 years, you can see the proposed capture from all the entities is 13.9 million over 20 years. We're doing that in case we need to bond. Like, we actually originally wanted to only do 15 years because we don't need $14 million. But the county advised us we should set it for 20 years because the bonding, if we do bond, the bond council, it'll be much more favorable to the township to show that. It's not a downtown development authority. It's not a DDA that we're going to extend it and extend it. We have 3 priorities. Once those 3 priorities are completed, it's over. It doesn't renew. So the first one of these is Sashaball Road. If you go up in Independence, if you get off there, you'll see they did a bunch of improvements. They just this year put that second exit off of 75 in hopes that they're going to get the hospital. But that's the first one that happened in the county. Ours is now the 17th. So this is a tool that's being used around the county for economic development, not just in Orient, we're not really paving the way. But, so 238 is if we had a 20-year, that's what we would capture over 20 years, a 50% capture. But again, at that same token, it would be an additional 238, because that's just the increase to NOAA. So anyway, I'll pass this up. Any questions or?
What were the 3 priorities? You said Sashaball?
So the 3 priorities in the plan, the first priority is Widen Brown Road. That's $5 million, rough numbers. The whole thing is just over $8 million. The second priority is Baldwin Road streetscape. So we're going to have a new road, but the road commission essentially gives us pavement and sidewalks and street lamps only in the roundabout. So if we want to have any pedestrian lighting, any landscape medians, which our residents have asked us for, because MDOT and RCOC, they used to cut our medians 3 times a year. Because of budget constraints now, they only cut them twice. So we have huge weeds and they collect garbage. So that's gonna do landscaping and stuff like that. That's about almost 3 million. Then there's a little bit of money for maybe like some gateway enhancements, like an entrance to Orion Township, and things like that, but that's a very small piece. We don't have an executive director, we don't have staff costs, we have basically some consultants, engineers, and consultants that helped us draft the plan. But it's a very lean and like to the point, the money's gonna go to these projects. And again, more than almost 60+% of it is going to Widen Brown Road. So what I will do is, if it's agreeable, and we kind of already agreed before Mark left, I will have someone besides me here at the next meeting to make a PowerPoint presentation and kind of explain to the board what it is. But I can send this electronically too if people want to review this between now and the next meeting, and we'll have that on the agenda. And I would probably, I will abstain because I'm obviously a proponent of this. I put this together. I also sit on the CIA board, which isn't a conflict from my perspective, but probably from this standpoint, it probably would be good for me to abstain from voting on the no to opt out. I guess I could ask our attorney or whatever, but. So that's what I wanted to share with you all. Does anybody want to take this one home? No? Okay. All right. Thank you. We already received and filed the monthly ride reports. Is there any other public comment? Any board member comments? Let's go, we'll start down here.
No comment.
Nothing today. Anything you wanted to add, Lynn?
No, we're still just waiting for our MV1 to come in. Should be any day. They keep saying last couple months, so it should be
Very
soon.
cool.
No comment from you?
Nothing further from me. Entertain a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Okay, I'm sorry. Hey, you gotta have a second. Moved by Fisher, supported by Kreiderman. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? We are adjourned at 4:53.